In the early hours of May 14, 2008, 19-year-old Brandon Swanson vanished without a trace. That night, Brandon was driving home from a college party in Canby, Minnesota. He had just finished the semester and wanted to celebrate. At around 1:54 a.m., he called his parents and told them his car had slid into a ditch. He said he wasn't hurt, just stuck, and needed a ride. He believed he was near the small town of Lind, Minnesota. His parents, Brian and Annette, got in the car and started driving to pick him up. While on the phone, Brandon tried to describe where he was. He mentioned lights in the distance and said he'd walk toward them to make it easier for his parents to find him. For the next 47 minutes, Brandon stayed on the line with his father. They spoke calmly, even joking at times. Brandon kept saying he could see lights, that he was near a town. But when his parents reached the spot he described, he was nowhere to be found. Then, suddenly, in the middle of their conversation, Brandon interrupted himself and said, "Oh shit." The line went silent. His father kept calling his name, but there was no response. The call disconnected. Brandon Swanson was never heard from again. Right after the call ended, Brandon's parents contacted the police, but the officers didn't consider it urgent at first. He was 19, legally an adult. Maybe he just ran away, they said. It wasn't until the next day that a formal search began. Investigators soon realized something strange. Cell tower records showed Brandon's call had connected from an area near Taunton, Minnesota, more than 25 miles from where he said he was. That meant he was nowhere near Lind. He had somehow gotten lost or misled his parents. Search teams, dogs, helicopters, and volunteers scoured the countryside. At one point, bloodhounds picked up Brandon's scent. It led them through fields, over gravel roads, and finally to a riverbank. Then, nothing. No signs of struggle. No dropped phone. No clothing. Just emptiness. Authorities dragged the Yellow Medicine River, believing Brandon may have drowned. But they found no body, and his phone was never recovered. To this day, no physical evidence has been found that confirms what happened to Brandon Swanson. As weeks turned to months, people began to ask questions. How could someone vanish in such a short distance from home, while on the phone? Some believe Brandon fell into the river and drowned, but experts say the area was thoroughly searched. Others think he may have been picked up by someone with bad intentions. But then came the stranger theories. People on online forums suggested that Brandon may have experienced what some call a time slip, a sudden and unexplained shift in reality. In these cases, people report being disoriented, seeing lights that aren't really there, or even feeling like they've entered a different place entirely. Could Brandon have gotten lost in more ways than one? The fact that he kept seeing lights, which his parents never saw, adds mystery to the case. Some say he may have hallucinated. Others believe there's something darker at play. And then there's the final word he spoke. Oh shit. What did he see in that moment? Was it an animal, person, or something else entirely? We may never know. Brandon's disappearance led to major changes in Minnesota law. In 2009, the state passed Brandon's Law, which requires police to begin investigations immediately when an adult is reported missing under suspicious circumstances, even if they're over 18. His parents have continued to search, speak publicly, and raise awareness about missing persons cases. Each year, they hold vigils and speak at events to remind people of Brandon's story. But more than 15 years later, no new leads have emerged. The trail remains cold. Brandon's case continues to be one of the most mysterious disappearances in the United States. A phone call that lasted 47 minutes. A calm voice, a sudden shout, and then nothing. He was there and then he wasn't. Where did Brandon go? What happened that night? And why, even after all these years, has not a single trace been found? Some say the land keeps its secrets. Others believe the truth is still out there, waiting to be discovered.